Billowing Hilltop podcast. I'm here with everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We've got to keep our voices down because we mustn't be discovered. We are in the mansion of Eligos. Now, we have made a couple of jokes recently about how we couldn't afford to record our show in the actual Even Star, or build our own Even Star, because we were out of money. And then it occurred to me, Paul, do you know what occurred to me?
What?
It's all imaginary. So I just imagined that we had the money. Yeah. And as a result, I've been able to build the entire thing. And because I'm doing the voice of Bonce Bomper Omper Ah, Eligos' elderly servant, I basically am Bonce Bomper Omper Ah.
Awesome.
Well, why not? What do you think of the gear? Not bad. Shoes maybe a bit much.
Well, you look like him.
I do look a bit like him, and I can do the voice and everything. Anyway, as a result of being Bonce Bomper Omper Ah, I've got the keys to Eligos' mansion. We can go anywhere we want. And I thought I could take you up on the roof of her mansion. We could have a bit of a look at the Even Star that we've built.
Up on the roof.
Right.
I'm just going to show you some of the highlights. Does that sound like a good idea?
Sounds great. Cracking.
Okay, just follow me. Everybody keep their voices down because the characters themselves are in Eligos' study, and that's just going to be below us. So whatever you do, we mustn't be heard. Imagine the crushing psychological blow that it would be for Alessandra to discover that all of her thoughts and deeds were controlled by Paul. Can you imagine anything so awful?
That destroying.
Never recover from that.
They're chatting away down there, and she may summon me back as Bonce, in which case I'm going to have to run off. But let's hope we get a couple of seconds. Okay, off we go. Okay, so out we go. Wow, it's really lovely out here, and you can
It's
see.
only a model.
Let me just take you quickly. Let me take you around the points of the compass. So if we keep your voices down. So if you look north, that big building, that imposing building, that's the Cathedral of Oort. You can see the docks behind them, the midnight docks. That's where the Sodden Hold warehouse was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the left, that rumble you can hear and that kind of cloud of vapour, those are the Falls of Farewell. So those are the falls of the Emma water as they crash over the barrier cliffs down towards the lands that wait.
Right.
If we keep going around to the east, just a little bit, you can see the keep, Even Star Keep. At the top there, that's the star that gives Even Star its name, the beacon at the top of Even Star Keep. Some people believe that that is a powerful magical enchantment that protects the city. Many people see it as a sort of beacon of hope and light. You can see it on the evening horizon if you're out in the wilderness. If you keep going round, you can see the spire. That's the Sorcerer's Spire that sits out on an island out in the Emma Water River. That's the Wizards' University. And behind that, you can see that smudge on the horizon. That's the Newell Mountains.
Ooh.
Right.
If we keep going round, you turn around a little bit. Now, you have to step past that tree, Paul. Yes, careful.
Yes.
That's Resoned there. So all that low area of the city beneath you, that's Resoned.
That's where the Mind Flayer was.
The Temple of Tange is that big building that looms over all of the others. Sorry. Jesus Christ. What's that? I'm really sorry.
That's Bag of Bells. That's. I'm just trying to prove.
I
a
thought
point.
you'd been warned about that.
Yeah.
Everybody just. I think we got away with it. Anyway, sorry, where was I? Oh yes. So if we keep going round, we look out to the west, see over the city walls, over the cliffs, over the barrier cliffs, the lands that wait are over there. I mean, they are miles below us, but they stretch out unknowably far off to the west. And just there, just inside the walls, you can see straight to the west. That's the stadium. That's the great stadium of Even Star.
What's the thing Right. to the left of the stadium?
The Dog Stair and the Dog Gate. Well, the history of Even Star is that there was a great battle 595 years ago when there was an incursion by the denizens of the land that wait, trying to invade the city. They climbed up something called the Dog Stair, which is a set of stairs that are carved into the face of the barrier cliffs. And at the point where that stair reaches the top of the cliffs at the edge of the city, there was a great battle. The night before the battle, the lone defenders of the city broke bread together, the Staff of Life, and that is why they're called the Order of the Broken Staff. And they fought back that incursion, and now they've built what's called the Dog Gate in order to protect the city from any further incursions from there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Does no one go down and explore the lands that wait?
Occasionally, Griffin riders from Mountain Gate run patrols 200, 300, 400 feet down the face of the cliffs, but nobody goes out into the lands that wait anymore. It's just too dangerous.
And what's the big
Well, that's
building
marvellous.
just to our right, before we get to Cloak and Dagger?
If you're looking out towards the keep, and that building that sits in a square just below it,
Mm-hmm.
that is
the one.
Nine Deep's Gate. So that is the gate, is the choke point, the control point, in the way down into the dunge. The Nine Deeps is how they often refer to the great labyrinths and halls below our very feet.
Right.
Mm.
I can hear. I think I can hear. Yeah, I can. Can you? Yes, Elegos is calling me. I'm going to have to slip back into character. Quickly, let's go then. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks, readers. It's good for every now and again you can see where all of your money is spent. Due to the unique way that this podcast is funded, we can build these entire imaginary cities and take you on adventures in them. I won't trouble you any further. I've got no news. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter @BillowingHilltop. You could email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com, and Paul will print your email out, fold it into a hat, and wear it out in the street near his house. That's it. We have no other news, so let's push on with episode 51 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, Get Off of My Cloud.
How do we get out of
I was visited by the FID, the Fédération Internationale de Damage, in the week.
Uh-oh.
I have a confession to make. I was audited, and it turns out that I made a mistake with the lightning bolts that Bugraft and Parker were hit with.
D6s?
D6s, yeah. Ricky, it's just my old first edition, like always was. Anyway, I did the math. So basically, I made a note here. I re-rolled the damage, but there was a fine, a small fine, and then a brief, painful punishment. They made me stand in barefoot on a set of D4.
Ouch. Could not imagine anything worse.
Yeah, I now know. I know what 10d4 piercing damage feels like now. Like personally, the damage. You need to give yourself some hit points back. Yeah, Parker, you get 14 hit points back.
Ooh.
And Bugraft, you get 2 hit points back.
Ooh, that's a bit of that could be a bit of a game changer.
Well,
back in the game.
Yeah. Well, you don't get many back, Bugraft, because you didn't take
the game
much damage in the first place. Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Trondheim. Good evening, Trondheim. Where were we? Oh yeah. Okay. So it's going to be Lucas, Paul, or Graham to do the recap in that order. D6. Rolling a 6. It is Graham. Would you be so kind as to just quickly paint the picture for the reader?
Yeah, for
Hello.
the reader.
Good evening, reader. Good evening, reader. Take your usual seat.
Okay, so the Naga appeared, cast a lightning bolt. Then we fought that for a bit.
Yeah.
And this kind of, an aberration of some description
Yes.
was summoned by some sort of female summoner in the furthest chamber from us. I think Bugraft saw that.
Yeah.
And this creature appeared out of the, maybe out of the ground. It was hard to tell.
Yeah, Bugraft didn't really see
certainly
it appear because he was hiding around a corner.
Anyhow, so that's up at the top of, up in the big cave with the water. We have Bugraft and Parker having defeated the Naga, now dealing with the aberration. In the passageway leading into that chamber, we have all of the rest of the heroes.
Yeah.
More or less, sort of making their way forward.
Trying to,
with a stinking cloud, I think, in the raised platform where there were some possibly drow who had been shooting us with bows, poison.
Yeah, they're sort of very they resemble some of their characteristics are very drow-like, but they don't. Yeah,
I don't know that we've had a very clear.
No, you haven't had a very clear look. Yeah, exactly.
I think Burple climbed up, attacked one, and climbed down again using his
I did my
rope thing.
Yeah,
I did my stinking cloud, didn't I, up there?
You did the stinking cloud, then you
was
climbed up and attacked one. I think you're the only
Smelly
person that's
Biff.
been upstairs.
Give a smelly biff.
In the passageway is Sessions and other Sessions, making our way slowly forward, and Alessandra is now entered the big cave and is engaging, I think, with the cloudy thing. That's roughly where we were.
For the reader, very quickly, we've got 2 large caverns that we've established next to each other, like an 8 on its side, or or a pair of glasses or something. One of them has got Parker and Alessandra and Bugraft in it, and they were being attacked. They were fighting a Naga, and now there's some weird aberration that's been summoned, as Graham put it, is now kind of bothering. The other chamber, the left-hand side of our Sideways 8, is sort of unexplored, but Bugraft knows that there are these strange creatures in there. And then there's a passage leading up to the right-hand one of our large caverns that all of the other characters are in, making their way up. And where we left things, this strange aberrant organism that had been seemingly brought into being or dragged from the other side of the Great Divide or whatever, seems to have either emitted or transformed itself into a cloud of yellowish, evil mist that has wibbled its way round and has settled itself over Parker. That was where we left things. And Parker, nothing happens as a result of it settling over you, if you are indeed the real Parker.
We're still on that one.
Well, I mean that's what you would say. So we can pick things up, in fact, with the internet sensation, the world's most famous hobbit that thinks he's a dwarf.
Uncle Buggy.
On 17, what would you like to do?
Yes, that's right. Uncle Buggy.
This cloud has come into the kind of chamber next to the pool where you are, where the Naga was, and it's settled over. It's picked Parker. It's not picked you. If, to be honest, I'd known, if we'd played Princes of the Apocalypse before this happened, then it might have gone for Bugraft. It might have gone for you, but you know.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, the Naga disappeared. Yeah, so
the Naga, it seemed to, maybe it hissed something.
Yeah,
and then it just went and vanished.
Yes, well, with how many
That's
years
quite a good
D&D?
effect.
I'd say about 42 years of D&D experience. I would say that it's not able to teleport, which means that it's gone invisible and done a misty step within 30 feet.
Dimension door?
Why not just go invisible?
Because it didn't have many hit points left and it didn't like being next to us and maybe wanted to get away from this roiling mass
I
of
think we'd have had it next round.
smoke. So
I have a fairy fire, but if you don't think it's still there, I won't bother.
I think the Naga's here somewhere. Mike, can I get any sort of perception check? Is it in the waterfall or in the water?
You want to reach out with your senses, see if you can just... Well, so you've kind of got this theory that it's invisible and it's near you, and you want to just sort of check around you to see. Yeah, give me a perception check.
I don't want to spend a round doing it, but it's just
okay. So
if it's in the water, there would be a hole in the water, wouldn't there?
I mean, it's a great big thing. You don't know that it would, unless it had. You can't imagine that a giant, great invisible Naga like that would. I mean, you don't know.
Misty Step is a bonus action, so it could be that.
Yes, I mean, if it had Misty Stepped under the water, then potential. Anyway, why don't you roll a perception check and let's just see what number you get, and then you can derive whatever, you know.
And a 13.
13. Nothing immediately presents itself to you as suspicious.
Right, is there a waterfall against the wall to the...
No, it seems to be like an aquifer. It's like this water is bubbling up into the pool from below you and then overspilling the pool and running off in a stream across the base of the cavern and off into the rock.
Right. Do I think if the Anarcha was somewhere in the water that it would be quite obvious to see, or...
If it was if it was invisible, not. If it was invisible, no. If it was visible, then yes. You don't get... you don't think... I mean, you've got a light spell, so I mean, there's a bit of reflection off the surface, but I think a big creature like that, you'd see it, unless it had travelled very, very fast, very deep. Yeah. If your question is, can you see it below the surface, you know, in the sort of 10 feet, 20 feet that you might be able to illuminate with your light spell, the answer is you can't see it.
Right. Okay, that's annoying. All right, I'm
going
to...
There's only so much you can kind of do for free in terms of scanning.
If I moved into the water, I could bump into it, though, wouldn't I?
Yes. You don't know how deep the water is, but yes. To be honest, I don't know how deep the water is.
Okay, I'm going to bash this thing with my the boiling massive whatever.
You're going to bash the cloud?
The cloud. Is it look
okay.
bashable?
Well, you'll find out.
I'll bash it with the frost brand. Rolling a 22.
22. Well, you successfully hit the cloud. Do you want to roll your damage on the cloud?
I roll 7 points of damage.
Yep. Okay.
No, 14 points of damage, 2 of which is cold.
Yeah, okay.
Does it seem to do anything?
The cloud itself does not seem to be particularly interested in what you've just done. It's like you've waggled your axe around in a sort of cloud of yellowy green mist.
There's no form in the cloud. It's just
No, it's like a cloud. Vapor.
to basically
like
doesn't do any damage.
Well, you don't know, but I mean, it's rather difficult to tell either way.
It's not like there's a creature in there that's surrounded by the mist, and I've just been waving in the mist. There's nothing further
No, you don't
inside.
get the sense that there's anything more substantial to it than what you saw.
All right. Well, I'm moving away.
From the cloud.
Presumably, it doesn't get an attack opportunity.
No, it's a cloud. It doesn't seem to have anything like that. Attacks like that. No.
So I'm moving into the water eastwards, and I'm just trying
Jumping in.
moving around, trying to hit something if there's anything in the water.
Yeah. I mean, the water is not only 2 feet deep. I mean, it's like when you jump into the water. Can you swim?
No idea.
Right. I think we need to establish
Well, he
that.
can't drown.
No, you can't drown. You could basically live down there. The way that the drowning rules work. You could live down there quite comfortably for probably the bulk of this session. I'm thinking that the pool is about 10 feet deep, Bugraft. Yep. So if you jump in, you sort of go boom, and then you hear the cavitation and bubbles around you as you sink, unless you choose to try and sort of splash and doggy paddle yourself at the surface. What would you like to do?
I'm just jumping in and just trying to
Sinking.
fight.
There's light at the bottom of the pool, Bugraft.
I'll
Right,
head
once you're in
towards
the
the light.
water, when you're no longer using the light, when your light spell is no longer bouncing off the surface, yes, you realise that there is a little bit of glowing from the bottom of the pool. It looks like there's some sort of phosphorescence, but there's also a couple of other little bright kind of green glimmers at the base of the pool, which you're sort of sinking towards. I think we pick you up. I think that's a pretty decent go.
But there's no Naga in there. I would have hit it.
No Naga, no, nothing at all.
Purple will step.
You're around.
We can't see the guys on the top, I'm assuming. Just
No, you can't. You know that you. I
refresh my
mean,
memory.
I don't know how you would know this, but 2 of them were retching and affected by your cloud, and one of them was able to sort of pinged a shot at disadvantage at you, if you recall, and
Yes.
hit you actually, amazingly.
So I'm going to move forwards about 15 feet, and I'm going to do dissonant whispers on that cloud.
Okay, so you want me to make a saving throw?
Yes, please. Wisdom DC 14, or take 7. Otherwise, save to half.
Okay, rolling some dice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know how to narrate this. I mean, you don't know if anything at all
It would be
happened.
3 points if it's saved. If
Okay.
it fails, it has to also move away from me using its reaction.
Well, that is quite a good little bit of kind of forensic work, isn't it? But
Yes.
it doesn't use its reaction to move away from you.
Yeah, so it maybe takes 3 points of damage unless it's immune somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not been firmly established if this cloud is it or is something that it has emitted. Because
Right.
the moment of cloud creation was not witnessed.
Oh, I see.
I think I was relatively clear last time that you heard the sound you had a weird sound. I did say you heard the sound like, impossible to describe, but something like deliquescence, sublimation, something like something solid turning into liquid. So it could be that this thing has changed itself into a cloud and has come burbling in to get you. But equally, it could be that this thing has emitted a cloud. You wouldn't know because nobody can see where this thing
But
was.
the cloud is moving under control.
The cloud seems to be moving around, and it does seem to have picked Parker.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Alessandra,
Well,
tonight's beer is Astrid from Thornbridge. I've had it before. It's very good. Attractive purple can, Paul.
well, that makes it taste even better, I should imagine.
Yep.
I'm delighted for you. I'm drinking local tap water.
Filtered?
I imagine it's been filtered. It comes out the tap.
Dear reader, there was a discussion today on our chat forum
I gave up the will to live at that point.
about SodaStream.
Carbonization of water.
I mean, not just like a dismissed, like, oh, has anybody, but quite an extensive, involved discussion about SodaStream.
Well, Johnny, I didn't understand your statement, which was like, you can pretend it's a fizzy drink. It is a fizzy drink.
No, I mean, you can pretend it's a fizzy drink that's not water.
It is a
You
fizzy
can.
drink.
It's just mind over matter. You
You're
just
saying
think it's
you
a
can-
nice drink.
Or just have water.
Lovely, normal,
If it's
still tap
cold
water.
and it's fizzy, it could be anything. Literally, if you just think I'm drinking a nice fizzy something.
So you
like
think that fizzy water can taste like, I don't know, lemonade or something like that? You think, oh, this is a lovely lemonade, when in fact it's just water.
Yeah, you can if you.
That's
put your
quite a
mind
lot
to
of
it.
imagination going on.
One of the crowning
do it.
achievements of the modern Western world is fresh water direct from the tap.
What I'm thinking, Johnny, is if you, by kind of extrapolation, if you can think that fizzy water can taste like, I don't know, lemonade, maybe I can think that ordinary tap water can taste like fizzy water, which can then taste like
it
lemonade.
can't. Flat tap water is the most boring drink on the planet. But if you've got a bit of fizz and it's cold,
A little bit of
and
fizz,
it's been
bit of
double
cold.
filtered.
Double filter. Wait, do you actually filter it yourself?
I've
This is
got a
quality
filter
content,
under
by the way,
sink.
that the Norwegians tune in from. For.
You've got a filter under the sink.
Got a filter under the sink. It's a short bit of. It's a replaceable filter that you connect to the piping, and then you then pour the water into a filter jug. It's double
Right.
filtered.
I see.
It's all so much easier than going to the shop and buying some fizzy water, isn't it? I mean, that's the main thing.
Well, I did do that for a bit, but then I felt guilty about the plastic.
Yeah, there's an alternative, which is you just drink water out of the tap. It's better for you to not filter it because of the calcium and all the other stuff. London tap water is good for you. Better for you than Volvic. Well, a bit of London tap water in it. Hey, Bush, you great big fucking muppet. Right. Anyway, let us. You know what? A, I've lost the will to live. B, I've forgotten where we were.
Right. Alessandra is going to do a standard move across. She's heading westward,
Heading for the cloud. Oh no.
No, not heading for the cloud. The cloud is north
Yeah,
by
I
northeast.
understand, yeah.
She's heading directly west towards the opening, but she's just holding back. She's positioned herself between.
Got dark vision.
Yes, she's an elf.
Give me a perception check. Yeah, give me a perception check. Parker, could you give me a perception check?
She gets a 24.
Oh dear, that's
Alessandra,
in total.
You're heading across this cavern.
Mm-hmm.
Again, dear reader, if you're thinking of this as a figure 8 on its side, there's cavern on the right, cavern on the left. Alessandra is in the right-hand cavern, heading towards the left-hand cavern. Alessandra, as you head towards that join between the two caverns, you got the sense of there being creatures being quiet, lurking, and you think that certainly you might have picked up the sound of something in your cavern, kind of tucked away to the north, something that might have snuck in. And also you got the sense that there are traces, creatures, multiple signals in the cavern you're heading towards. Now, you have dark vision 60 foot?
Up to 60 foot.
Okay, so you can see this cavern. It's Bugraft has seen it already.
Yes.
Yep. It extends out. You can see a sort of cone looking into this cavern.
Mhm.
There are multiple rock protrusions from either side. There are areas of the cavern. There are known unknowns, Alessandra. Yes.
Mhm.
The right-hand side of the cavern is higher than the left-hand side, and there is a slope, so it's like a ramp that
Yep.
leads up to that higher area. There's directly to your right, there is an opening that leads back into the cavern that you have been vacating. That may be where you heard that sound from.
Oh, okay. So that's where I think something might be hiding.
Possibly. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. When Bugraft threw himself back into your cavern in order to avoid whatever was going on with this figure was summoning something, and this awful thing appeared. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that whilst his view was blocked, that something could have snuck its way in that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of my round was to ready an action.
To shoot anything that you can see.
To shoot anything that I can see or anything that poses a threat.
Okay, Parker,
Here we go.
it's your turn. Can you please give me a DC 14 Constitution saving throw, please, when you start your round in this cloud?
Yes, that was a 13 on the die for 16 to save.
Damn. Well, you're fine in that case. How annoying.
Right.
What would you like to do?
I would like to, first of all, I will take a step northwards out of the cloud.
Yes.
Anything happen?
No, nothing happens.
Okay.
I mean, the cloud doesn't sort of swipe at you. You can see this. The passageway that Paul thinks something might have snuck up. You can see the other end of it, and it's opening up in front of you as you get to the northern part of this chamber. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there's like a little passage formed by a rock column that runs around the top northern, the northwestern corner of this
I
cavern.
will take.
And you're at one end of
more
it, and Paul's
step.
at the other.
Can I see?
Yeah.
What do I see when I take one further step? Can I
You
around?
see something that's shooting at you. That as you step round the corner, you reveal to yourself a thing. It's very wiry, knobbly, knotted, strong but wiry, lithe-looking figure with a very dark skin, kind of a greyish purple, quite pale hair but not white hair, maybe elfin but not an elf, not an elf or a half elf or a variant of an elf, but it's sort of elfin in the sense that it's got extended features. Yes.
Does that mean not a drow?
Not a. Well, you don't really know what's a drow.
A drow is a dark elf.
There's no such thing. None of you have ever heard of anything
Right, got it.
called a drow before. That's not something that registers.
Okay, we'll take your rated action then.
This thing is pointing a crossbow at you. It's been waiting. It's the best look you've had at one of these things, to be honest. It's wearing light black clothing, like kind of ninja gear, and it pings a shot at you, hitting armor class hopeless 12, which is not going to be enough. So it shoots a crossbow bolt at you as you come around the corner. It looks a little startled, to be honest. What would you like to do now?
Well, then I will continue right up to it, and I will hit it 3 times.
I see.
So the first attack.
I mean, I thought that my description might have piqued a little bit of, I don't know,
fear,
curiosity,
worry.
Is it a Darrow?
Is there some kind of...
the first attack is hits armor class 11 or 12, armor class 10.
Armor class 10 is a miss.
That's a miss. And the second attack is armor class 22.
Yes.
Is a hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that will be 6 points of damage.
Yep.
And the third attack is armor class 22 as well.
Yes, very annoying.
That will be 8 points of damage.
Okay. Well, you've wounded it. You've wounded it. I mean, not insignificantly, not massively. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Harker, can you give me an intelligence check?
Another.
Now that you're right up close to this thing.
Right. That would be an 18 on the dice. With an 18 on the dice.
I hesitate to describe this to you because I've got an awful feeling that this will not ring a bell. But now you're up close to it. The thing that this creature personage most resembles is: do you remember the Chapel of Asmodee in the Dark Cathedral?
Yes.
You fought the cultists or the sort of servants or acolytes of the Faceless One.
The guy who had the weird pouch thing.
Yeah, and they were humanoids, but they were not human. They were wiry. They were kind of grey-skinned. This thing's got sort of a touch of grey about its kind of complexion, but it's more purpley. But it quite strongly resembles those individuals.
So we're looking at cultists.
Yes.
Airborne triad cultists.
Triad. Airborne triad.
The airborne triad.
Okay. Well, it rings a bell, but I'm not
triad.
entirely sure that I can use that information to my advantage at the moment.
No, it was more for something for you to forget later.
For colour.
Sure, you can see a bit more map. Now that
Forget what?
we move forward a bit.
Yeah, we can go do that.
Well, anyway, that's my round.
Yeah, well, you don't have a chance to look at the map in that case. It's your round ends and you can't see anything.
I'm blind again until my round comes around again.
And we move on to Sessions Epa. or both of him?
Both of him. Well, I had a brilliant, cunning plan. It was inspired, but unfortunately Parker has moved,
Oh,
spoiling my cunning plan, so I'm going to do it anyhow, but it's not going to be as effective as I thought it would be.
Okay.
So, bonus
Build up
action,
the anticipation. Yep.
I'm going to move red sessions,
Pretend sessions.
pretend sessions, to where real sessions is. Yeah.
So the two of you are standing together. Yep.
Yeah. Then I'm going to move. Sessions is going to gingerly walk his way into the cavern to the point where he can see Bugraft, Alessandra, and Burple.
Well, he can see Alessandra
Yeah.
and Burple, but he can't see Bugraft, who is submerged.
But Buggles actually has found the other front. It's the
Has he
new-
submerged, really?
Yes.
Yes, he's submerged. He jumped into the pool.
cretin.
He's
Last
found
Trying to find the Naga.
He's trying to find an underwater front.
So now two of them have screwed my fantastically clever plan.
Oh, I see. You were going to do your what's it, but now you can't because you haven't. got
Well,
enough
I
people.
can. They're just
Yeah, it's just less effective.
their problem now. And I'm then going to summon my spirit guardians on red sessions.
Ah.
So Red Sessions is going to summon the Spirit Guardians as the
Yes.
as the vehicle for your spell.
Yes.
Okay.
We shouldn't forget that there are noises from things coming up behind us as well, up that corridor.
Yeah, exactly. So red sessions, I nominate myself, Burple, and Alessandra, as I can
It's
see.
too late.
all of
You
them.
didn't say that, Graham. Oh
Yes.
dear, big mistake.
Unfortunately, I was going to nominate Bugraft because I thought I could see him from
Yeah,
there.
you can't
and
nominate
Parker.
Bugraft. You can't nominate Parker. But otherwise, everybody else is safe from your whirling playing cards of doom.
oh, God.
That's the playing cards of doom. If I could remove one spell from the cannon. Is that you done?
Yes, I think that is me done. I'll just give myself a nice little 15-foot aura.
Parker, this thing.
The gassy thing is going to follow me, isn't it?
Well, we'll talk about the gassy thing in a minute. This thing in the corridor that you're up against, it drops its crossbow
Ooh. Uh-oh.
and it just goes, shit, I haven't got any weapon. No, and it slashes at you with a short sword.
That ain't a knife.
First attack hits armor class. Not going to be enough. Second attack is 13, hits armor class 20. Not going to be
No.
enough, is it? Okay. Now, the cloud. The cloud is going to whiffle its way south towards the others. It does move particularly fast. I'm just going to check. Oh, it's not bad actually. Does move pretty fast. Oh. It is going to go for Sessions or Alessandra.
How do you know Alessandra's there?
Oh, you're right. It's going to go for Sessions.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I didn't position myself very cleverly there.
It flies over to you, Sessions, and settles upon you. Not much else happens, to be honest. There's the sound of motion. I've got to make a couple of saving throws for these guys in the stinking cloud. What's the DC, Dan?
Is it 14? Yeah, 14 Constitution.
Constitution save. Constitution save DC 14. Okay, so well, the first one makes their save actually. Second one, fails. Third one, hopeless fail. Okay, well one of them is okay. They start their round within the Spirit Guardians.
So they have to make a save DC 14 Wisdom.
Can I check on the radius of those Spirit Guardians?
It's 15 feet.
So the shelf is 15 feet up, but I'm assuming that the centre of the spell is the centre of Pretend Sessions, which is about 1.5 feet off the ground, right? Since Sessions is about 3 foot tall, 3.5 foot tall as a hobbit.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual high point of the Spirit Guardians, of the sphere of playing cards, is about 16, 17 feet off the ground. I would say that the one that's very nearest to Sessions on the ledge is probably affected, but the other two are probably not. That's what I would say. Because they're already 15 feet up, and one of them is 10 feet away. Yes? And I can't be bothered to draw a side diagram of the sphere of Guardians, but I don't think that would be in it.
Okay.
The first one makes a save. It's a will save. It rolls an 11, getting a total of 15.
So it saves, so it only takes half of the 12 that I roll.
Half of 12.
Yep.
Fine. Okay, so, I mean, well, I mean, you can surmise that you've done some damage on it.
Yeah. And the cloudy thing that's half within the Spirit Guardians?
The cloudy thing. Okay. Well, I'm going to roll to make you feel better. I'm going to roll some dice. Okay. I've rolled some dice. And I've made a gesture towards writing something down on a piece of paper. The 3 on the ledge, only the first one saved, the one that took damage from the Spirit Guardians. Could technically make a ranged attack. They know that fake sessions is fake sessions, but I'm not sure that they would have been able to follow the switcheroo, right? Because they've been in the cloud.
Yep.
So I think that what it would do is it would go for pretend sessions as the nearest target. It's still attacking at disadvantage. First attack with its crossbow. Well, that's going to be a miss. So I don't need to roll the second attack. Got me?
Yep.
Everybody happy with what happened there? I mean, not happy, but, That is it for as far as... so, very careful here. Bit of Keir Starmer. So far as you know, that is it. But I would draw the honourable member's attention to the perception checks made at the end of last session, which revealed motion to your south back towards the sewers. And I would draw the honourable member's attention to the fact that Alessandra and Bugraft know that there are multiple figures in the other big chamber that you haven't entered.
You were just trying to prepare us for the TPK.
It is Bugraft's action.
Okay, I'm coming up to the surface of the water.
Fine.
But they can't obviously find a Naga in the water.
No.
I am going to throw my trident of necrotic thing.
Your trident of necrotic thing, yep.
At the...
It's like Tolkien, this, isn't it? Yep.
Yes, at the...
Quality sci-fi.
At the thing.
You're going to throw your trident of necrotic thing at the thing. I mean, it's like Tolkien himself. It's kind of infesting this moment.
I roll this. I'm adding 1 to this. It's a 3. No, it's an 8. 9. Is that a hit?
Throwing your trident at the cloud.
Yeah.
It's a spell.
It's a cloud. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen here. It goes through the cloud because it's a cloud. I mean, does it hit Burple? I can't. I mean, does it? You're throwing it past. I can't see that it would hit Burple because you're throwing it, I presume, to miss Sessions, who's in the cloud. Yeah.
I'm throwing it so it.
Runs
Sessions
through
in the cloud.
Yeah, Sessions is in the cloud, but you can see Sessions. So I think you can aim for the bit of the cloud that Sessions isn't in.
Yes, which means it probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
hit
Okay.
that.
Well, I mean, you've hit the cloud in the sense that what's the damage from your attack?
Do you really need to know, or are you just going to pretend?
It's best if I keep writing the stuff down, I think.
Pretending to write it down, do you mean?
Okay, it does. So it rolls 11 points of normal damage, and it must make a DC 13 save.
Oh yes, hold up.
Or
Let me
take
make some
necrotic
No,
damage.
let me roll some dice. Rolling some dice here.
Just
Okay.
because.
And sorry, what was the damage from the other thing?
It's another 1d6 necrotic if he takes.
Yeah. What's that then?
Another 3,
Okay.
and it returns to my hand.
Yeah, I mean your trident crackles with necrotic energy. It's possible that when it was passing through the cloud, it,
Monumental waste of time.
Well, I mean, no, I'm just saying it's possible that when it passed through the cloud, that it did sort of disperse some necrotic crackles into the cloud. That might have been a problem.
It's not a
But I mean,
monument.
it's not physical. Your trident just goes through it. Like, it's a cloud of steam, right? There's nothing to
Cloud of
to cut
poisonous
with
steam.
damage.
It's not a monumental waste of time because I am on my second rage. I need to attack something, otherwise I lose my rage.
Ah.
See?
Monumental waste of time.
Clever, eh?
Anything. Attack anything, or just does it have to be a creature?
Didn't you not
Hostile
attack
creature.
when you wandered around
Okay,
in the
I think for
water
the purposes
last
of
round?
your rage, we're going to say that this cloud is a hostile creature.
No, last round I did a hit on the cloud and then I went into the water.
Oh.
And this round I throw my trident, come out the water, and I'm just moving. I don't know how much movement I've got
Wow!
left.
In a moment of quite extraordinary metagamery, yes, I am able to now tell you that this thing must be a hostile creature because your rage has continued.
Great. And then I move up to the rock pillar to the west.
Yes, the one that's between you and the other big cavern.
Yeah. And that's it. I'm still raging, and I'm ready to take up
Okay.
my place at the front of the party once again.
Herpish, comma, B, full stop.
That bit of information is new. Can I get past this cloud?
Do you mean if you could press yourself against the wall of the cavern and skirt it?
Yes.
I would say that square where you'd basically be, I'd say that the square that you were doing that would be counted as 2 squares. Call it difficult ground, call it squeezing, call it what you like.
Do we want to bunch up in that room with enemies on 2 sides and in amongst us, or do we want to clear our exit route? I'm not sure I'm equipped to clear our exit route by myself, but I could possibly bung it up.
Again, I would be very careful talking about clearing exits and bunging up around Paul.
Yeah. Well, I was trying
Evacuation.
The country's fragile infrastructure is already a breaking point.
Yeah.
There was an evacuation.
Or at least phone Thames Water first, just to warn them.
Unfiltered Thames water is what I drink.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Now I remember why I double filter.
This brings a whole new meaning to the concept of the circle of life, doesn't it, really?
So what, guys, is our thinking? Do we group up in that room, or do we not?
I'm just laughing at the idea of Johnny drinking Paul's piss. Can't concentrate.
Well, I think the room offers various bits of cover and an ability to control.
The thing is, this cloud thing
Yes.
is something that we can't hit.
No, but I think the thing is that we need to find whoever's cast it and stop them.
Well, that's assuming that it's.
Have you
Concentration.
tried
Well,
throwing
presumably,
some fire at it?
I haven't got any fire.
Parker just completely degenerating down to the most basic.
I think
Have you tried throwing fire?
stern words.
Have you tried burn?
Ouchie,
I try thump.
Well, better to all go down together. I'm going to go 1, 2,
Yes.
Oh,
3,
interesting choice of
4,
words.
5.
I mean, in the
I'm going to
spirit of
move.
evacuations, it's,
Don't-
lighting your own.
Right.
I'm going to move up the corridor.
You're going to
Up
skirt
that-
it.
Yeah, I'm going to skirt it round in that other passageway.
Skirt it. Right.
I'm going to plug that passage. No, I'm going to.
Yeah, you're going to plug the passage. You can see the pool ahead of you, the pool that Bugraft was in. And there's a dim green luminescence emitting from the pool.
Yeah, which also makes me nervous. The whole
Yeah.
room makes me just not want to be here. But but needs must. I'm
This
just
is why I
wondering.
put loads of stuff behind you so you can't leave.
Yeah, it's great.
It's called railroading.
So I have an action.
Kettling.
Do we think there is a invisible creature in here or not?
well, it's either a creature in the mist or controlling the direction of the mist because it's not walking randomly, is it?
No, but isn't the mist a creature? Haven't we
Well, it could
established
be.
that the mist is a creature because Bugraft's rage is still going because he tried to attack the mist?
Well, it doesn't necessarily need the mist needs to be a creature, but the mist is dangerous. It's
Yeah, but the point is
If it's
looking
being
around for some other
controlled,
source.
yeah.
If something else is controlling it,
yeah.
it's not necessarily the right
So-
course. We need to
Yeah.
basically affect it directly. I've got
Oh,
dissonant
yeah.
whispers, and that's
or
it.
stop the source.
Mm-hmm.
What source? It is the source. What source?
Hot source.
I don't understand what you're saying. Anyway,
You need to catch up with the rest of us, Lucas.
The cloud thing was summoned by
Oh,
some
terrible.
drow priestess or something in the next room.
does that mean that that killing the priestess kills the creature?
I think
Removes
so.
the
Maybe
creature.
I'm going to go into that room next and start attacking things.
Odd globular mass with the eye on it, and then that globular mass disappeared, and we had the cloud. And what we don't know is whether, as Mike pointed out earlier, whether this globular mass emitted the cloud and has now slinked off somewhere else, or whether it turned into the cloud.
It's just the kind of conversation only have.
Yeah.
What an
indeed.
extraordinarily strange game this is. Right.
I'm going to go invisible,
Okay.
which means that the stinking cloud winks out.
Because it's a concentration spell.
Yeah.
Isn't the stinking cloud being slightly useful?
Is it? Do we think it's being useful?
It's blocking up the rear passage, isn't it?
No, it's just blocking up the
Oh,
top,
it's the top.
on the shelf.
Mm.
And all it's doing is stopping them from being able to fire.
The elves on the shelves are in trouble.
Basically, what they're likely to do is fire at your double,
Yeah.
if that
for a bit.
even is your double. So basically, the mist is the fog is not really doing anything anymore. I mean, it sort of is, but if I go invisible, then I can sneak around into the main room and try and find the source of this
Sure.
thing. That's all I'm thinking. Or I could do see invisible. What do you think? See invisible, and the fog cloud keeps going, so I defer it around. I'll do see invisible. Sod it.
You're doing see invisible.
See invisible.
Okay.
Yeah. Casting see invisible, so the fog cloud is still there,
Got it.
and I'm not invisible.
And you can see invisible things.
Yes,
You can't see any invisible things with your invisible sight.
that was a mistake.
I mean, where you're standing now, you can't see any visible
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
Alessandra, it's time for your moment. Do you want to maintain your ready action, or do you want to do something?
Alessandra's going to do something. Stealthily, she's going to run around past the opening into the other chamber, but up the passage, and
I'm with you. She's going to basically a pincer movement on the one that Parker is fighting.
exactly.
As you do so,
Yeah.
as you run past the entrance to the cavern,
Mm-hmm.
you can clearly kind of cast a quick glance to your left as you do so. What you can see is that there is some sort of pen with some rather mangy livestock in it that's immediately to the left of the entrance into the cavern, to your
Yes.
south. And that there is a kind of couple of alcoves that you're not sure what might be within them off to your right as you look into the cavern.
Yes.
You can also see right to the back of the cavern now. This is all in dim light because your dark vision gives you dim light. What you think is that there may be, Alessandra, in the bottom left-hand corner of this other cavern, as you quickly glance into it, as you run past the entrance, there may be a way out. And in that way out, just an opening, some sort of little passageway, there may have been a figure dimly lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
The the central southern, this
Yeah.
sounds like TV, this sounds like ITV regions. The central southern section of the cavern, there is an iron gate / door set into a set of iron railings, which is blocking off the bottom, but you don't know what's going on past there. There's just dim shadow. Yeah.
That's at 6 o'clock.
That's at 6 o'clock. But at 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
there may be an opening, and in that opening, there may be something lurking. I think that's
Yeah.
that's loads. Right, what do you want to do? You want to?
I'm going to bash.
So you're changing weapons?
I'm not going to change weapons. I have 2 weapons. I have my crossbow and my
Of
rapier.
course, of course.
So I will start with the crossbow, hitting arm class 23,
Yeah, absolutely.
doing 7 points of damage.
Yep.
And I also have a sneak attack damage, which gives us another 15 points of damage.
Yep.
And then I have a
I mean,
rapier
that's-
attack,
Yep.
hitting arm class 23,
Yeah, also a hit.
doing 11 points of damage.
Well, I mean you've bloodied the bloody thing. You
Oh,
bloodied it.
I bloody well hope so.
That was quite significant. Wow, that's quite a lot of damage output from Alessandra, I have to say.
That's what she's here
Parker,
for.
your turn.
Right, well, hopefully I can finish it off. I'm going to attack it again
Well, I
three
mean,
times.
Is that appropriate? Okay, yeah.
Oh, 20.
Natural 20. Parker, thanks for coming.
Never fails to amuse.
It's been a long day.
Nope.
Would you like
Critical
to...
hit, savage attack, 3d8 plus
Okay. And Parker's choosing not to gamble.
3. No, sorry, not plus 3, plus 2. 3d8 plus 2.
Mhm.
There's the 3. Oh, God.
Oh,
that's
and it
terrible.
turns out that
7
Parker
plus
made
2
a
is 9
Terrible
points of damage.
miscalculation. Terrible miscalculation from Parker.
9 points of
gamble.
damage.
I'm gonna gamble.
Should have gambled, oh dear. Let's draw back the curtain. And yes, you would have killed the creature.
Well, the second attack, so 9 points of damage, right?
Yeah, it's all safe here in my pocket. Yeah.
Is a 22, which I believe was a hit.
That's
same
a
as
hit,
last time. So that's another 5 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And the unarmed strike is a miss.
Well, I mean, it wasn't looking well, and now it looks less well. But I mean, if you thought that you were going to, put it on his arse, you were in dreamland situation.
Okay.
Sessions, could you please give me a Constitution saving throw, DC 14, and you really want to make this.
Yeah, I thought you might say that. Not very good at saving throws. Let's see where we get to. I roll a 3 on the dice.
So you've got your luck and you've got your Oort dice since we're in a new session.
Yeah.
Or you could choose just to take the consequences.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I will. I will use my Oort dice.
Okay, so you're going to re-roll that d20 and add a d6.
Ooh, 15 plus d6 is going to be enough.
What would you like to do with your turn?
First of all, Red Sessions is going to climb up the escarpment.
Yes. Red Sessions is that just imaginary in the sense that you just
illusion,
direct him to
I just direct him to climb up the wall.
What's this spell called of yours?
It's called Invoke Duplicity.
Invoke DM Annoyance.
Okay, so I could just move it onto the ledge so that it's...
Yes, they're all in it now.
They're all in it, and it's covering our rear.
Yes.
And then I think I will, the other version of Sessions, I'm going to...
The real Sessions.
Real Sessions.
Yeah.
Going to run away, obviously.
But in which direction are you going to run? Because away is a relative concept. Just ask Bugraft.
Well, I'm going to move up to next to Uncle Buggy. Up here.
Ouch.
I know Uncle Buggy's brave.
Right, okay. You're going to go to the place where you think you're looking for the place where you think there must be the least danger. And so you're running towards Uncle Bugraft.
Oh, that's a bit
That's
low. It's a
cold,
bit low.
cold.
In fact, I'm going to move right up to the top because I'm going to move in my round.
Doesn't even want to be with Bugraft. So, okay. Is that you done?
That's me done.
It is Uncle Buggy. Uncle Buggy.
Uncle
What are
Buggy
you gonna do?
is saying, nobody's going to take me alive, and run into the room to the west.
Really?
Really? Your job is to...
What do I see?
So you're running straight into the middle of the room.
I'm going to react to what I see, but I'm essentially running.
Okay. When you do that, Bugraft, you trigger a series of readied actions. The first readied action you trigger is from something which is going to appear on the map now. That fires a crossbow bolt at you, hitting armor class 23.
Yeah.
For you take the following damage. You take a d6 plus 4 piercing damage. Here it comes. You take 5 points of damage. Can you make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw?
Okay, so I just take 2 damage because I'm raging.
Yes, absolutely. And then the DC
Constitution saving throw is against what?
It's against poison.
It's poison. I don't think I've got any.
I mean, you're already poisoned, aren't you, Bugraft?
I forgot about that.
Well, I hadn't. But let's worry about that in a minute.
So I can't get poisoned twice, can I?
Well, let's get into that. Let's just see what you roll. It's possible that by failing by a sufficiently large number,
What
with
was
a
it again?
3
Constitution.
13 DC 13 Constitution save.
That's 15. So it's 5.
Slightly different.
Yeah,
It's
15 or
5.
5. Is that a 5? You have failed by 5 or more.
Oort dice.
Which is what I was trying to establish.
Oort dice.
You fall unconscious.
Right. I'm using my Oort dice.
Okay. You roll the d20 again. DC 13 Constitution save.
Just trying to find out if my barbarian thing helps. Don't think it does. Path of the Totem Warrior.
Take as long as you need.
No, I'm going to use my
Big
Oort
decision.
dice.
Okay, so you re-roll that d20, initial d20, and you can add a d6. Oh, hello. 9,
So
11.
that's 11 plus another
d6.
d6.
Another 2. Yes, and you
saved
made it.
by Oort.
Okay.
17.
But there's another shot, Bugraft, from another one that's going to appear on the map now, just tucked around behind that boulder. It attacks, rolling a 19, hitting armor class 26 for a d6 plus 4 piercing damage, 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so that's 2.
And another DC 13 Constitution save. If you fail it, you're still poisoned, but you don't want to fail by more than 5. I think we've established that.
6.
You collapse unconscious. And we don't need to worry about what the rest
There
of what
must
happens.
be something that can help me.
Well, there must be, yes, but what?
Burple.
Burple is going to.
I mean, Burple, you couldn't see any of that because there's a big rock pillar in between you and the cavern. You saw Bugraft. You heard Bugraft go, "Nobody's going to take me alive."
Yeah.
And then
Don't you hear a sort of thump as he falls
and
over?
you hear him, and then you hear the sound of him being taken alive.
I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay, removing the stinking cloud. Yeah.
So I'm moving out from my hiding place in that little corridor now that I'm invisible, crossing that little stream and moving up the corridor towards the main chamber where Bugraft met his doom. And what can I say?
Yeah.
I imagine from there I could probably see him.
Yeah, you can see Bugraft. He's lying on the ground. There's one of these strange grey-purple oddity humanoid people standing over him with a crossbow. You can see you've got dark vision 60 foot,
I've got dark vision 60 foot, yes.
and you can see invisible.
And I can see invisible.
Not that that's particularly relevant. You can see
No, that was
another
a wasted
one
spell.
tucked away at the top. There's a sort of ramp that runs up on the right-hand side of this cavern. Bugraft is at the base of the ramp. Towards the top of the ramp where it flattens out, you can see another one. Yeah. That's it. That's what you can see.
Okay, thank you. I'm done.
Okay, and we move on to Alessandra.
Well, I very much doubt I'll be as lucky again, but we'll give it a go. So starting with a crossbow, hitting arm class 18.
18 is a hit.
Excellent. Doing 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage
So rapier attack. Ooh, armor class 10.
is a miss. What about that? No sneak attack damage?
from the crossbow. I'll do that. That does 15 points of damage.
Another 15. Okay. I mean, it's looking really pretty ropey.
Okay.
Parker, I mean, you've got a chance. It's looking, yeah.
Well, let's see. First attack is a 17.
17 is a miss.
Oh, dear.
Is it?
It is a miss.
It's a hit.
I thought they were armor class 17, but they're not.
Right. Second attack. That's a 19. That would
Yeah,
be
that is a-
25.
that's a
That is a hit.
hit.
So that's
Yep.
a hit. That will be 7 points of damage.
Yep, still standing.
Oh, God. And
Yeah,
finally,
yeah,
the unarmed
yeah.
strike. Oh, it's a miss.
Well, it's a
terrible.
miss. Last thing, I think, Graham, I need to do the damage or the saving throws for the pretend sessions and his spirit guardians, right?
Yes.
First one rolls 12. What's the DC?
14.
It's a save. Second one fails. Third one fails. So what was the damage? What's the damage, John? on those
The
users?
damage is Spirit Guardians. Ooh, 15 points of radiant damage saved to half.
Okay.
Radiance.
Radiant, sir. Oh, look over her shoulder, sir. You're in no position to know how much damage is being done. But,
Yep.
But
Okay.
I'm faithfully noting
Okay.
the damage that's
But
been
now
done.
it's fine there. And then the real sessions, I think, will step round the corner towards where he saw Parker go.
Yes.
Edge his way round there.
And when you do, you can see Parker, and you can see past him. You can see one of these creatures,
Okay, and I'll do Toll the Dying on the creature.
and it rolls a wisdom save. It gets a 16.
That's safe.
It's a save. Is there no damage?
No damage.
Okay.
That would be my go.
Okay, and it's them. Burple.
Yes.
The creature standing next to Bugraft interacts with Bugraft freely as an object,
Yes.
and starts dragging him out of your field of view towards the
Right.
south. You can't see the southern part of the cavern,
He's going to be fed to the animals.
but he's being dragged away. That's the first thing, and I will obviously, as a result, obscure Bugraft and this creature from you. The second thing that happens,
It's like Deadwood. They're feeding him to the pigs.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
is
he's an
that
appetizer.
the green mist continues its journey south. So, Burple, you see it, or I mean, I don't know how you see it. I mean, there's no facing in this game, so I presume that you notice that where it was sort of lurking, where it had recently been kind of trying to sort of smother sessions, yeah?
Yeah.
it just heads off to the south, and none of you know where it has gone because can you see through the eyes of? No, so none of you know where it's gone.
No.
You also hear the sound. Nobody's trying to be quiet, Burple, from the direction, that passage where
To the south.
to the south, where this green kind of mist has headed off. You hear the sound of definitely the sound of movement now. The sound of probably of multiple signals, 2-3 things potentially moving around.
Not any shouts of pain or anything like that.
No, and it seems to be coming from further south because you can also see scuttling down from this ledge these others, the creatures that are in the Spirit Guardians. Now they need to make saving throws. First one saves, second one fails, third one saves. So Graham, you need to give me a set of damage for those people. Yeah.
9 saved half.
9 saved half. Okay, so... And I'm going to make some athletics checks as well. Again, you can't see any of this, but you can hear, Burple, you can hear the sound of these things basically repelling down this shelf, or rather down this cliff, from the shelf.
Yep.
Okay, well, starting with the first one, second one, third one. You don't know. You can hear a couple of oofs and a bit of kind of scuffling and a bit of kind of. It doesn't sound like they made a kind of a perfect gymnast's job of it, right? It sounds like there was a bit of kind of chaos as they got themselves to the base.
Right.
But it does sound like they've all landed, so that you can hear them in the corridor. This green mist has gone into that corridor, and further away you can hear more movement down there.
Okay.
Just at the point where the two caverns meet, something happens. A figure steps around the corner of a little abutment, a little obscurement, up on the raised area of the cavern, Burple. You can see her. She looks like the other. Can you give me an intelligence check, Burple?
19.
19. Okay.
19.
You definitely think that this figure very much resembles one of these strange humanoids in the Chapel of Asmodee. And what springs into your mind is not so much the idea that these people were cultists. They were cultists of Asmodee, cultists of the Ebon Triad. It doesn't really matter. What pops into your mind is a memory of something that Hesty said, which was that when you described those figures to him all that time ago, I mean 4-5 days ago at least, that he was very interested because that matched the description of the creatures that are meant to live at the base of the barrier cliffs in the lands that wait.
Right, okay.
And that is what sort of creeps into your mind. That's creeping into your mind as this figure extends her pointed finger towards the junction of the two caverns and utters something and brings into being at the very kind of junction point, the kind of axis of all of the points around there, a cloud of insects that just kind of goes and fills all of that space. And we will find out how those insects affect you and how bitten you get next week.
How bitten you get.
Bloody swarm.
Jesus.
Swarm of insects.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Hall of Harsh Reflections and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Hall of Harsh Reflections was written by Jason Bullman. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening.
In a world headed for disaster, 5 strangers with mysterious pasts are thrown together by the winds of fate to try to stop the unseen forces that threaten to destroy their world. Join Kraval, a dragonborn with no memory and no past, who is the first of the barbarians of the mountains to be seen in 1,000 years. Kater, a penniless paladin, running from something or someone in his past. No one, the only tiefling monk the kingdom has ever seen, who has been expelled from his monastery for reasons he has not revealed. Adri, his monastic companion, who hides some deep dark secret she cannot reveal. And Arlen, once a simple farmer, until some mysterious event manifested sorceress powers in him. They must travel the length and breadth of the kingdom of Faroe, searching for the disparate clues that will help them unravel the mystery of the failing of their land, while trying to hold together the unraveling threads of society's weave, threatening to come apart at any moment. They will have to battle nature, plague, politics, and even the forces of the underworld as they attempt to discover and defeat whoever, or whatever, is attempting to poison their world and throw it into chaos. Relic of the Past is a novel-length story told via a clean, custom, 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game. Find us on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever fine podcasts are found, and at poolmedia.podbean.com.